Good morning and welcome to Smart Men's Business. I'm Andrew Abarija. Today is the 26th of September, and of course, we just left with about a few days to wind up the month. And I also officially welcome you to the news recap at this particular session. How is your morning? I've actually had a great one, a little bit busy, but of course, we have to come and drive the business. And don't forget, and of course, to check us out on DSTV channel 372 and GoTV channel 394, as we shall be delivering the business message straight to your sitting room. And to kick off the hour right now in the news recap, let's look at embracing organic farming. And with this, it's very essential in boosting agricultural output. One of the most important inputs for enhancing agricultural output in Uganda, and is considerably rising the gross domestic product. Let's have the details of this report.
The rains are falling, and farmers all around the country are worried about the various repercussions that are frequently brought on by prolonged periods of rain. Soil degradation invariably occurs, which therefore has an impact on agricultural products sold locally and internationally. Food preferences are shifting more and more in favor of organic options due to the expanding healthy living movement. Thus, farmers must satisfy the demand by cultivating organic food utilizing organic fertilizers. A survey on Ugandan soil mapping conducted in 2021 by the International Fertilizer Development Center revealed a severe nitrogen shortfall in Uganda's predominantly acidic soils. According to Nsubuga, the usage of inorganic fertilizers has led to extremely low yields, a persistent food crisis, and serious diseases like cancer in the nation. This is because soil degradation is a result of exploitation of the soils and climate change.
Driving farmers from using a lot of chemical fertilizers and to start producing with organic fertilizers. Our major campaign is to see how we can help farmers to produce what we call healthy foods. So we are trying to see how people can access organic. Majorly, why we talk about organic, we mean healthy foods. Chemical fertilizers and chemical issues, it's a lot of challenging issues in Uganda.
Growing knowledge of the risks associated with using inorganic farm inputs is necessary for organic fertilizers to fill the gap left by decreasing availability of inorganic fertilizers and become a viable source of income for growers. However, the soils will be able to gain nutrients in 3 to 6 months with the usage of organic fertilizers.
They are composed to look like this for easier absorption and water retention. So when you put this, for example, let's give an example of your grass at home. You have a compound and you can just put in the compound. The moment it rains, the soil is able to absorb the nutrients from the pellets. It will take about, let's say 3 days to a week to get fully absorbed into the soil, and then will last you about 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months for you to be able to actually report.
Even if someone has got 1 acre, we train them how to maximize that small land they have. You put a lot of fertilizers, you nourish the soil, you reduce on the chemicals, then you grow what we call a high value crop, like a hass avocado, like tomatoes, like beans, soya beans, mainly for export. Because the target group for the market, we use it for local market and we use it for export.
Farmers struggle to find a market for their products, especially when they are perishable or imported organic materials, which are subject to significant taxes. It requires value enhancements.
Because that matters a lot. The NPK value is what the content, the nutrient that is within the fertilizer. So we are able to, we market, first of all. After marketing, we bring out the truth of this is the composition of what should be in an organic fertilizer. There shouldn't be any chemicals that are going to affect both the plant and the soil. Because at the end of the day, organic farming, better life.
Like we had a lot of challenging issues with tomatoes. A lot of farmers grow some crops mainly during COVID and so on. And you remember the movement was very limited. So some of the another challenging issue is the market for perishable goods. That's why we came out with the campaign of value addition.
Help us do what these guys do. We have the raw materials, we have the rotting matter and everything, but then let's say the machines and the mixers that can help us make what we don't have at the moment. We are not yet that resourceful to actually be able to make. So the people that have the capacity to do so are the ones that we also look at to bring. But if you realize that what they use is actually just organic matter or rotting matter.
The most crucial elements needed to promote soil fertility are phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, copper, iron, manganese, and zinc are additional secondary components. Naomi Mtumba, Smart 24.
Very interesting insight right there regarding that's organic farming. Remember, one of the most important inputs for enhancing agricultural output is, of course, in Uganda, is considerably, and it's raising the gross domestic product. That's the use of organic fertilizers. To improve its efficient usage and to reduce the negative effects, farmers must understand that's the elements that influence the use of organic fertilizers. And away from that, let's cross over to exhibition versus business development. And this time around, experts have urged the business community to prioritize networking above concentrating on making more profits. Let's have the details of this particular report.
Manager for membership at the Uganda Small Scale Industries Association, Walsimbi Andrew, has advised individuals to prioritize networking over earning money.
Exhibitor comes to these exhibitions. These small industries should look at how do I network? How do I make my business better? There is a lot of learning in the exhibitions. You look at the conferences that are in there. How do I get registered with my business? How do I get certification for my business? How do I get trademarks for my business? So when businesses come for these exhibitions, there is a lot of learning. And we think through these learnings, when they go back after the exhibition, they can be able to put some of these learnings into their businesses.
Asaba Adloff, a businessman at Nakawa Market, says he would like to participate in the show, but due to the exorbitant taxes and fees, he may not. The money needed is too high for such times. This may hinder us from going. According to the experts, these shows are crucial venues for conducting business and interacting with a variety of stakeholders.
If these exhibitions would have a way of creating a linkage between businesses and the consumers, you know, and I mean, for me again at the exhibition, I would expect more than just an exhibition. When you have things like the banks being there, URA being there, the insurance companies being there, the customer gets empowered to know what decisions they should make.
In order to help their businesses grow and thrive, Walusimbi advises low-income individuals to join business association.
The advice I would give is they would actually join associations that can support them to get into different markets. But also, lastly, we need to look at joint working together.
The Uganda Manufacturers Association will hold this trade fair for the 28th times in Uganda.
Now come next week, the Uganda Manufacturers Association, together with other different stakeholders in this country, of course, will be going through a number of exhibitions where different people will showcase of what they are able to do. My name is Fred Makubuya.
And that's regarding that particular report, of course, telling the entrepreneurs to largely focus on networking rather than making the profits. And of course, they have been urging the responsible organizers to ensure that they actually reduce some of the fees, of course, for the display of their materials right there but they're being told to focus on networking more than profiting. Still, just like the report says, experts urging the business community to prioritize networking above profit making. After the business community expressed that's the concern over the low profits that typically follows trade shows and exhibitions. Literally, they are trying to say they don't make quite enormous amounts of money during these particular shows, but it's very important for you to get exposed, get your product out there. People should know about it other than thinking of the first time eyes. For example, if people see the product for the first time and you want them to purchase at a higher price and you make quite enormous profits, experts are saying no, it's all about networking. Let them get to know your products more, and definitely the profits will follow later. Okay, away from that now, let's cross over to financial inclusion, as experts believe this is key to economic growth and development. Let's have the details with this report. We shall be returning back with more light regarding this.
Uganda unveiled a new 5-year national financial inclusion strategy in 2017. The strategy aims to reduce financial exclusion from 15% to 5% by 2022 by ensuring that all Ugandans have access to and use a whole range of quality financial services, as well as bringing them back into the banking sector.
26 financial institutions that are regulated by Bank of Uganda have about 5-6 million customers that they are banking, they are multi-banked. And yet, you have a working population of over 25 to 30 million people. Now, these people have been excluded out of the banking sector. How do you bring them into the banking sector? Now, with financial technology, this problem is being addressed through smartphones and smart technology.
ISPA happens to have a seat at the financial inclusion working group, and our goal is to see that our members encourage our members to innovate solutions that actually reach the last mile. Last mile meaning solutions that can really affordable to the people below the pyramid, solutions that are accessible to the people, solutions that are trustable to the people. So our goal as FISPA, we are advocating for financial inclusion.
The availability of financial services to Ugandans has significantly increased recently. Today, more than a half of Ugandans' adult population has use of formal financial institution account. The main cause of the surge is the entry and rapid adoption of mobile money, which has made it possible for 8 million Ugandans to undertake financial transactions.
No longer need a traditional bank account to transact or send money or open a savings account. You can do that on your phone through mobile money. Now, that is the problem that mobile money has solved in the last 10 years. Everybody can load money on their wallet. That wallet will hold your money, and you can send money to your grandmother in the village, you can send money to your supplier, you can pay your electricity, your water bill through that.
Within the introduction of COVID-19, a lot more people turned to internet for a variety of reasons, including employment, pressure, education, and commerce. However, thugs also profited as the volume of traffic rose, leading to increased fraud complaints. According to Henry Kevin Wava, the managing director, Digital Ecosystem Wallet, Ugandans should adopt a Know Your Customer KYC requirement to address the fraud problem.
I can tell you today is, like with any new product, there is what you call KYC. KYC is Know Your Customer. It's an acronym. KYC, okay? Know Your Customer in the financial services. In there, whom am I transacting with? Do you know who Henry Kevin Wava is? Where do I stay? What's my national ID number? What's my phone number? Where is my business located? What type of transactions am I doing? Do you have that information before you start transacting with me? If the answer is yes, and you know who my customers are, then it becomes easier to now know whom you're transacting with to prevent fraud. So
the main point is, how do we try to mitigate the risks? Because we can't stop development, we can't stop growth, but we just want to use technology to see how do we grow, how do we move from where we are right now to the next level, and so we're not left behind.
Data from a policy brief by International Care shows that since 2001, the government of Uganda has taken initiatives to increase adult access to formal financial services from 28% in 2009 to 54% in 2013. However, 2.6 million persons continue to be excluded, and only 2% of adults use insurance products. On October 13th, the Financial Technologies Service Providers Association, FITSPA, will host a conference with the theme Investment and Partnership and How to Thrive in Uganda's FinTech Ecosystem to identify more issues and potential solutions. Bedson Mumberi, Smart 24 TV.
When it comes to putting the pieces together of these, the pieces of this financial, that's the financial puzzle together, Uganda has come a long way. That if Uganda is to accomplish its goals of improved growth and shared prosperity, experts believe that it will be crucial for the government to continue its commitment, that's in raising the level of commitment, that's in regarding to financial inclusion, a very important aspect. And when we talk about financial inclusion here, it means everything you need to know about finances. You should be left behind regarding financial information. That's what simply the financial inclusion aspect is all about. And away from that, let's cross over to Kasese, a very interesting place. Have quite a lot of friends there. And this time around, we are examining its contribution to the tourism sector in Uganda in particular. Let's have the details of this report.
Kasese features flat plains in the south and mountainous environments in the north. Lake Edward and Lake George are located close to Queen Elizabeth National Park. In addition to having a lot of mammals and the most productive aquatic ecosystem on the planet and cultural hot springs, a world-class hiking and mountaineering destination with breathtaking views, the Rwenzori Mountains National Park is a home to over 70 animal species and 217 bird species.
Yes, we have all what we need for tourism. The facilities, the attractions, and everything. But the attractions we have Kasese, for example, Kasese Municipal Council is between 3 national parks. We have the Queen Elizabeth National Park, we have the Mount Rwenzori National Park, and this.
These hot springs are known as Chiriba Chatumba. Chiriba Chatumba is a local Chikonjo name. Chiriba meaning a pool. Chatumba meaning evaporation. So in general, the whole thing is an evaporating pool.
We have other heritage sites, like we have the Kiwa and the Chiriba Chatumba hot springs. Today, we have very many visitors who come to bathe in the hot waters, the natural hot waters of those 2 springs.
No matter how gifted Kasese district is, the locals are only now catching up, beginning to enjoy wildlife. The government is making every effort to educate the community about how to coexist with nature and benefit from it.
Those days of COVID-19, we used to base our mind on the international tourists, but because of the ban of travels, we had challenges. That's why we are trying to see how we can develop our community tourism at a community level, such that the communities are our tourists themselves. They consume their own product.
However, there are still several obstacles that prevent the growth of tourism industry, including the local security and poaching in the area.
Kasese as a district had passed through very many security issues, and the people perceive Kasese as if it is a secured place.
Looking at this particular report, the Rwenzori's regions, that's tourism industry, is a significant foreign exchange earner, of course, that helps increase revenue, create jobs, and lessen the vulnerability of the poor by expanding the range of economic activities and capabilities available of the people and the responsible households. And that's it regarding that particular story of tourism in Kasese. And let's wind this up on the ban of Facebook and its effect on the business environment. The details.
Facebook remained blocked even after the government opened other social media sites because the president felt that it unfairly targeted mainly supporters of the regime during the general elections in 2021. However, the government plans to reopen this site under its own conditions.
Facebook, we have already stated we are negotiating with them. It will, our negotiations will soon end, and then we open Facebook. UCC, our agency, is in close negotiations with Facebook, but they will operate here at our terms, not their terms. We have our own laws. We are a sovereign state. We can't be held at ransom. So if you want to do business in Uganda, once they tell you you must have a trading license, you must have it. You cannot say, no, in America we don't pay trading licenses. No, our laws say that. So there are so many things which we are sorting out with Facebook. As soon as they are agreeable, they will operate. But I would also like to say it was good to close because there are so many platforms which have come up. Actually, the closure ignited the innovation mind in our young people. And they have so many platforms which have come up. Though Facebook is still one platform that has many people, but we have people now on these other platforms which our young people have come up with.
Over 2.8 billion people use Facebook every month, making it a very popular social media platform. Therefore, every company must have a Facebook page, and when managed properly, the page can be profitable for the company. It is a solid bet for any company wanting to increase sales because of its huge readership. Many businesses have been impacted by the prohibition on this site.
Was helping us advertise our products. I want you to think about it more as a second shop for us. So it was increasing our sales because we do advertising on Facebook. So it was increasing on our sales. So blocking it most definitely affected us. Some of us do paid advertising, or what you could call promotions. The amount of money I used to use to, let me say, promote to 100,000 people has increased. If I used to use $50 per week then, now to reach to the same exact 100,000 people, I'm supposed to use like $75. Why? The number of people on Facebook reduced, or the scope at which Facebook reaches, because very few people are using Facebook now in Uganda.
From the time Facebook was banned from Uganda, it has affected many businesses, as some of these businesses were using it as a platform to advertise for their products. Well, the government is liaising with Facebook to come in terms on how to open Facebook once again. Bronia Katsime, Smart 24 TV.
Yes, welcome back from that particular report regarding the ban of Facebook and its impact That's on the business community. And that's it for the news recap this morning. Joram Paul Sonko is already in the house to take you through Smart Mints Business. And I'll be joining you straight on ground. And this time around, we're going to be discussing the impact of social media on the business community, which I'll be reaching out to the different traders in downtown. And we see how they engage social media in terms of using it as a tool to promote their businesses and increase the profitability and sales. That's it for now. Let's get into a short break. We'll return. Good morning.